Just a little more than a week before Election Day, more than 45 million people have already cast their ballots across the country. That's according to data from the University of Florida's Election Lab. Both presidential candidates have been urging supporters to vote early in recent weeks. Democrats had a lead over Republicans in early voting during the 2020 presidential election, but conservatives are closing that gap this time around. In key swing states like Arizona, Nevada, and North Carolina, registered Republicans have so far cast more votes than Democrats. Party affiliation doesn't necessarily indicate voters' choice in this election, as they have the option to split their ticket. Federal and local authorities are investigating 2 ballot drop boxes that were set on fire early this morning. The incidents took place in Portland, Oregon, and nearby Vancouver, Washington. Police in Portland report that an incendiary device was placed in a ballot box. The fire damaged 3 ballots, and the rest were protected by an internal fire suppressant. Police in Vancouver say a ballot box caught fire from a suspicious device placed next to it. The fire destroyed hundreds of ballots. Local election officials are advising voters who use the ballot box after 11 a.m. Saturday to check their ballot status. The drop boxes are located about 15 miles apart. Authorities say there's evidence that the 2 fires are connected. They've also identified a suspect vehicle. Both Oregon and Washington are vote-by-mail states, meaning every registered voter receives a ballot by mail. The ballot box in Vancouver is in Washington's 3rd congressional district, where one of the most competitive House races in the country is taking place. The FBI is looking into both incidents with the help of local law enforcement. Early voting in New York, New Jersey, and Michigan kicked off over the weekend. A record-breaking number of ballots were cast in the 3 states. One of them is a battleground bellwether that could set the tone for the presidential race nationwide. NTD's Melina Weisskopf reports.
New York is a state to watch for early hints into the congressional balance of power. That's because it's where several seats were flipped in 2022, giving Republicans a slight edge.
And New York, we made history when we fired Nancy Pelosi once and for all and flipped those 5 congressional seats. We need to make history again.
That task is now more difficult in the blue state, with the race for president sitting at the top of the ticket, which is sure to bring out more voters. And analysts say the battleground of Michigan is a good place to gauge how candidates are faring with swing voters nationwide.
We are truly a 50-50 state. Can you, though, fail to appeal to the kind of voters that are in Michigan and still win the rest of the country? I don't know. Right? Because if you fail to appeal to some of the things that Michigan cares a lot about, then that means for sure you're failing to appeal to Wisconsin and you're failing to appeal to Pennsylvania.
With Trump and Harris at a tie in Michigan, the battleground is expected to come down to the wire.
We just know it's going to be close. All the polls have consistently shown that this is a neck and neck race. Either it's tied or plus or minus 1.
It's a state not only with implications at the top of the ticket, but it's key to unlocking a solid majority for either party in Congress. Republicans are eyeing Democrat seats to make up for losses elsewhere, while candidates vie for an open Senate seat. Democrat Alyssa Slotkin is hopeful a so-called secret women's vote will propel her to victory.
We have women in red areas who are not telling their husbands how they vote, who are not talking about with their friends and family, but who are going to vote for Democratic ticket. Right? And we know
she's leading her Republican challenger in polling with the election now just 8 days away. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Melina Weisskopf, NTD News.